ElderGodBrandon here. I'm going to try and put out as many of these reviews as I can, and I'll eventually edit them and change them using Windows Movie Maker at some point, probably to fix my style as soon as I figure out how to do that. I'm working on that. At this time, I'm going to review GUYVER 2, Dark Hero. This movie was directed by the same person who directed the first movie, Steve Wang. It was produced by Steve Wang as well. The screenplay was written by Steve Wang. The original story is by the same person who did the first one, Yoshiki Takaya. Music in this sucks compared to the first one. Actors include David Hayter replacing Jack Armstrong as the main character, Sean Barker. Kathy Christopherson as Corey. Bruno Giannotta as Crane. Christopher Michael as Atkins. Stuart Weiss as Marcus. Billy Lee as Mizgi, who replaced Vivian Wong from the first movie. Jim O'Donoghue, I can't pronounce his name, sorry, as Guo, which I didn't even know was even in the damn movie. And they even pronounced Guo wrong. J.D. Smith as Doug. Wes Dietrich as Volker. Stephen O'Frickall as Bob. There's got to be Bob. Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob. What's up, Bob? Nothing, Bob. What's up, Bob? Worker Bob. Bob. Character named Bob. Like, that's totally original name. Koichi Sakamoto as Sakai. Butcher Portillo as Bo. Hey, Bo, what's up? Bo, what do you know? Christopher J. Bradshaw as Growl. What a friggin' weird. How'd you like to have that name? Vern. Hey, Vern, you know what I mean, Vern? You know what I mean, Vern? As Vern Roguin as Mazo. The suit actors that played in the suits, which were not done by the actual actors this time apparently, Brian Simpson, who also played Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, did the suit work for Benny, Volker Zoanoid, and Crane Zoanoid. Tatsuro Kohiki did the GUYVER Zoanoid. Ted Smith did the Commando and Stenzo Zoanoid. Mazo Zoanoid. Anthony Ren Hoek here. Anyway. Stimpy, you idiot! Anyway, he did the GUYVER. David McDonald does Marcus Zoanoid. Scott Putman, does Corbin Zoanoid. And CD Post does the Monk Zoanoid. There's a monk? Since when do monks become Zoanoids? But yeah, anyway. And I got all this off of Wikipedia, so the information may or may not be accurate. Okay. This is called Dark Hero. Sometimes it's just referred to as GUYVER 2. It's a 1994 movie, so it's made 3 years after the first movie. It's a sequel to the GUYVER. It's based on the GUYVER manga and anime again. It was directed by Steve Wang and stars David Hayter, as I already mentioned. According to Steve Wang and production estimates, the movie was made for about $900,000. That's pretty cheap for a movie if you think about it. And you can tell it, too. It's the cheesiness of the movie. It's not one of my favorite movies, either. I like the first one way better than I like this one. Compared to the previous film, GUYVER 2 is much closer to the source material, however. The flashback to the creation of the GUYVERs, for instance, is taken almost exactly from the manga, and that I agree with him. I have the manga, and I've read it, so yeah, that was pretty close to the manga. Unlike the first one, GUYVER 2 went direct to video, and that's falsely advertised because this one went direct to video just like the first one. But this one was rated R, unlike the PG-13 rating of the first movie. The plot of this movie is a little dark. Sean Barker, the main character from the first movie, if you remember, who's replaced by David in this one. He's mentally tortured by his transformation into the GUYVER and does not know what to do with his power now that he thinks Kronos is gone. He's drawn to an archaeological dig that turns out to be funded by Kronos. They spelled Kronos wrong. While there, they discover an alien ship where Sean learns about the history of humanity and the purpose of the GUYVER, which, again, was taken from the manga. The GUYVER Zoanoid in this, the concept for the GUYVER Zoanoid seems to be a mix of the two other GUYVERs from the manga. The damaged unit being used by a high-ranking Kronos member is a reference to GUYVER 2, even though the name Lisker was given to the lead Zoanoid in the first film. As well as his death, which involved his control metal being removed and his body being blasted away by GUYVER 1's Mega Smasher. as the armor starts to devour him. That, again, close to the manga and anime. The Guyver Zonoid never happens in the manga or anime, but the design of the Guyver Zonoid's armor bears a resemblance to Guyver 3's armor, so if they ever made a third one, or even a remake, they could use Guyver 3, they could use the design. Which, with some anatomical variations to account for his Zonoid anatomy, as well as the single forward-pointing blades on his forearms, reverse-pointing blades of Guyver 3. His manipulative and power-hungry nature could also be comparable to Agito Makishima, who is Guyver 3 in the anime and manga. This movie was more critically successful than the previous movie. Most of the critics said it often plays like an R-rated Mighty Morphin Power Rangers installment. How you like that for reference? That's genuinely amusing if you're in the right frame of mind. David Johnson of the DVD reviews say the acting is wretched and horrid in this movie. Guyver 2 is a much better effort than the original film, but it still doesn't measure up. The action is 100 times better. I will agree on that. The action of this movie is a hell of a lot better than the action in the first movie. There's a hell of a lot of an improvement. The acting is much better as far as the action goes. The action kept people fairly entertained throughout the whole movie. Critics and myself mostly felt that Guyver 2 was better than the original film, praising its action scenes and saying that David is an excellent replacement for Armstrong from the first movie. He's a vast improvement over Armstrong. I have to agree on that one somewhat. But that's all I can say about this movie. I heard they're remaking it, but which is a horrible, horrible idea if you ask me. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible idea to remake this movie. I mean, I got it on VHS. When I bought it brand new for $10 at Suncoast, which was going out of business at that time. We do see a cameo by Balkus in this movie. He's shown here on the back. Right here. Yeah. We do see him in this movie briefly, and you can tell it's Balkus because it's pretty sure it's the same damn actor that played him in the first one, David Gale. He's not credited or anything. Stephen Wang also did the special effect credits for Predator and Beetlejuice, coincidentally. So the special effects in this movie show his talent for that. It's too bad he got put on a shitty-ass movie. This movie gets a I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because it's way better than the first one, but it's still a B-grade movie. It completely takes something that could have been awesome had they done it right and screws it up just like most American stuff. They westernized it, and I think a remake is definitely in order. If they remake it, I think they could do a hell of a lot better with today's technology than they did back then. That's basically all I can say about this movie. See you all next time on my next review. Later.